What is going on, guys? Wasn't even planning on doing this, but this game just started going so off the rails that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to stop and share this. Does anybody have any music on their channel by chance? Anybody hear any music? Give people a few minutes to come in here. But this whole scenario that played out in this game is absolutely insane. Thank you, Golden Lions. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Blue Team Go. So I figure I'd give it about 5 minutes. I'll go in and throw this on Twitter real quick. So I guess before I start to show this to you, sometimes Madden does some really inconvenient things happen to you as the user. So we're going to talk about that. I know a lot of people talk about DDA, dynamic difficulty adjustment, the game basically manipulating things as the game plays out to make it more interesting for you as a user. So that is going to be the topic impromptu for tonight. I've actually got a video that I worked really hard on after this that I precluded in the Madden 99 to Madden 20 video. So this is kind of getting in the way of that, but I felt like I had no other opportunity, actually no other option but to come on and talk to you guys about this. I actually did shoot a breakdown for this play, but I didn't realize how things were going to continue to spiral. So this might be a bit long of a video. You know, we're probably going to go through maybe 10 plays, 12 plays in sequence and do breakdowns on most of them. Not a full breakdown, but just the main part of the issue. Thank you guys as well. If you don't know, let's see. I can give you a live number. How many views I've got in the last 48 hours because of you guys sitting here supporting my channel, hitting like buttons and sharing videos and all that good stuff. The stuff that I can't do myself. Go about another 3 minutes here and get into all these breakdowns. We're going to start with this touchdown that the Raiders got on me. I'm playing the Raiders and the Colts, obviously. I'm going to this game, so just, I guess, trying to see what it would be like before I get out there, right? So right now, we are at a clean 100,000 views in the past 48 hours. The video I just put up, 4,000 views in probably maybe 2.5 hours. The Madden 20 is inexcusable. Actually, messing myself up. The Madden 20 is unacceptable, is going crazy. The Madden 20 is horrible, is going insane. Maybe I should stick to shorter titles. Seems to be what works. Hello, John Wiggins. I had the chat down, so if you guys were saying stuff, I couldn't see it. Thank you, Larry. I appreciate you enjoying my breakdowns. Alexander, anything you want to send to me, you can do with my email. My email's in my Twitter. I'm a little bit behind. A lot of people have been sending me a lot of clips, so you know, don't be upset if I don't get to it right away, please. So wait about another. We'll give it to 8:45 Eastern Standard Time. Thank you. Thank you for all the kind words there, guys. When I feel like I don't have my mic on, there it is. Got a bad headset connection on this thing. Really makes it difficult because I can't hear myself. That's what happens. You buy one of these blue mics, sometimes they don't work out the best. If somebody from Blue is listening to this, you owe me another Yeti. I'm not buying a third one because they keep dying out on me. So, The importance of this video, just before we get it going here, is seldom can I go through every play in unison and show you guys this. So I'm about to lower the chat here. So for those of you guys that keep saying things, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to see most of it. Sorry if that was super loud. That was my phone being set down. I wouldn't say that blue mics are horrible. I've got a Rode mic that I don't use for a lot of things. So it's a shotgun mic, not a stand mic. All right, so here we go. So first of all, we're just going to go back here, and I want you to play that game that we played in elementary school. One of these things is not like the other. Now you see that I'm on the corner over here, okay? And you see down the defensive line, one of these things is not like the other. Which one could it be? Well, I can tell you which one it is. It's this one right here. Why he is standing up behind the defensive end is beyond me. I'm going to lower the thing here so you guys get an idea of what happens. Because as the ball is snapped, look what happens to him. He goes into this really weird animation that pulls him away from that side of the field. So now I'm one man short on this side. Now the interesting thing is the touchdown is actually scored. I want you to notice, like we've talked about in the past, these players don't understand where they are on the field. So he catches the ball, runs out of the end zone, and then runs back in. But clearly, being down a man on that side of the field is what gave all this field up. And for people that are just joining, this is what we're talking about. For some reason, my cornerback is doing this at the snap of the play and is completely out of the traditional formation that the defense would have. Now, why is this important? We all know this isn't normal. We all know this is the game manipulating itself. So the reason that this is important is because on the very next play, ironically enough, how ironically timed is this? I get the field goal script block. So, as we talked about at length, the field goal scripting is caused when the kicker stands still. It's all determined as the play snaps. So you can see here, for those who complain, there is no way that the timing can have a kick blocked. This is the computer. The computer doesn't have any timing. They can have perfect timing every single time they want. So timing is irrelevant when you're playing the computer. This is the computer deciding either you blocked it or you didn't. So ironically enough, guess who gets the block? So it's give and take, right? They clearly gave the touchdown to themselves by whatever they did to my corner, but they gave it back by blocking the extra point. That's what a lot of people think DDA is, that dynamic difficulty adjustment. We gave you a touchdown, and as a user, you're frustrated, so we're going to give you back this extra point so that you don't have to be that frustrated with the game and maybe you'll continue playing. Now, like I said, we're going to go through a bunch here. We're going to go through here. We're going to skip this drive. I want to talk about their next drive. So I go down and I score. Actually, you know what? We'll go through it. I'll do the right thing. I'll do the right thing. We'll forgo the kickoff. You guys are going to make me go through a whole bunch of plays. So we'll take a look here. First of all, I talked about this on the live stream. If you guys go back and look, you can do this every single time. Watch these safeties make their reads on their zone, and all of a sudden they pop backwards. And once they pop backwards, you get wide open. TY runs down here, does the hurdle, gets blown up out of bounds. Go forward, look at Devin Funchess here. Scramble over. Take a look at how these players react back here. It's the only person in their vicinity, guys. Got nobody shallow underneath, nobody else crossing underneath. All they have to do is protect Devin Funchess. If Devin Funchess played like this, he would not be a free agent leaving to go to the Colts. He would stay in Carolina, trust me. So they go ahead, get this weird animation, right, where all of a sudden only one tackle animation matters. Number 26 isn't even in a good position to tackle, but 24 just gets rolled. Imagine if that was old number 24, Charles Woodson. Imagine him playing like that. Never going to happen. So that gets me down to the 20. We'll take a look at this Marlon Mack 3-yard rush. Kind of one of those strange things with Madden as well, where how many times do you see in this game, you hit the line of scrimmage, you look up, and you've got unblocked defenders all in front of you. So I've really got to come through a linebacker, a corner, and a safety to get in the open field because no one's downfield blocking. Doesn't happen like this. You mean to tell me Both these offensive linemen get rolled the same way. You're going to tell me that Smith is going to get rolled, and you're going to tell me Kelly's going to get rolled the exact same way, and they're going to clamp down and blow up the middle of the field. Okay, fair enough. I mean, it can happen. It's just not very likely to. Come back over here. One of these plays, I take a horrific sack. I just don't remember which one it is. Jack Doyle, ignored off the line of scrimmage, cuts across, wide open, goes forward. You guys know by now, tackles all dependent on animations. So as soon as I go to dive, these two can't even get in a tackle animation anymore. They're standing up. Note, as soon as I dive, they stand up. The reason they do that, the game's out of animations. There's no animation for loss for 26 or 24. So as soon as I hit the dive button, it's over. That's the end of the play. Taking a look by Andrew Luck run here. Both of these plays, I actually believe I ran the same play back to back. I was hoping that Marlon Mack would have the common sense to go out and block downfield, but as you can see, and as you should know, common sense in Madden, very difficult thing to come by. So rather than come off his route and block, he just runs in a circle and gets me hit down about the 6-yard line. Perfectly at the 6-yard line. I try the same thing again, essentially rolling out, but I've got no one over there now, and they actually do an incredible job. This is a great job of defensive reaction. If you just want to see the difference in how the defense reacts, you take a look at the safety. Joseph back here just chills out. But both these two linebackers do a great job at reading down and blowing up the ball carrier or, the quarterback, whatever it may be. We go forward to this easy money Chester Rogers touchdown. Just take a look at this protection here in zone. Again, we talk a lot about zone defenses on the live streams. They have no idea they're protecting the goal line here, so they basically just play outside. No one protects the inside of the field. And then basically, you've got right in the heart of the defense, the easiest place for them to rarely even moves. So from the snap of the ball, not defending the end zone, running to his zone, and then the ball is actually caught right in front of him, and he doesn't even get a tackle animation. And again, he doesn't get a tackle animation because just like with Doyle, I'm diving. Once I start diving, there's no more tackle animations to have. Point good by Vinatieri. Now this is their ensuing drive. This is where the shenanigans really start. So now I'm leading, okay? So let's take a look at this pass by Derek Carr. This pass, I'm going to give the internet time to catch up to me here. I think I lost the stream for a minute, so I'm going to wait for it to catch up on my phone, and then I'll know that we're okay, because I don't want anyone to think that I manipulated this or broke this in any way, shape, or form. I don't think my phone is live either. Oh, no, it is. Maybe we're on some weird delay. Somebody type 852 in the comments section so I know I can start again. Okay, beautiful. Look at all those 852s. Thank you. Okay, so here we go. Derek Carr, their first drive. We just went through mine. We know we're all set. We know what's going on. Watch this incomplete pass. So now that the game knows it's got to give it back. It literally just let me walk down the field on him. So look at what this game does to itself. You mean to tell me how many times have we talked about Madden doing this with quarterbacks? Why is he pirouetting? What is the point of this? This animation is awful. Now, you mean to tell me the problem with this game, they have all these animations they put in. They have all these animations they put in. Every single year we hear about all these animations. Tell me why there's no animation for this catch. And when there's no animation, he just stands here. This is when I felt really bad about not recording it live. Honestly, this is when this play happened. I said, you know what? I should have hit record 5 minutes ago when I told myself to, but I was so ready to just put up my other video. I haven't felt good today, but I was like, you know what? This has got to be talked about. So they get the incomplete pass. He literally can't hit the broadside of a barn, and the receiver doesn't have the ability to catch a pass that's sailing right by him. So now let's take a look at what happens with Antonio Brown, who I believe mid-play got his X factor. Now look at this garbage. This is garbage gameplay. This is what should never happen. And this is Antonio Brown's X factor on Wilson. Watch this. Remember when we had this happen a couple years ago? Remember when all of a sudden your corner would be going out and he's trying to cover, and then all of a sudden, he just slides. Look at that. Just slides on one foot. He's sliding on one foot so that separation occurs. The other corner doesn't do it. If he doesn't slide like that, that right there is what makes the play. So he slides, now he runs back, and now his animation is off because the game just slid him. So you've got Antonio Brown kind of trips over, and then watch this. You've got my linebacker comes in and kind of frames him. Hooker comes in, can't do anything because of the animation, and knocks him out of the tackle. Then you've got these two that, thankfully, 26, Gaithers gets the tackle. But if he didn't, you mean to tell me Darius Leonard, one of the best linebackers in the game, right? Just to watch this. He catches it. Let's say he missed that corner tackle. Let's say he breaks this linebacker tackle somehow. Let's say Hooker does nothing. You mean to tell me that Darius Leonard is just going to stand here and wait? He's not going to come over and try to do anything. He's just going to wait. If that broken tackle from Gaithers actually happens, you're looking at, 5 Colts on the ground while he runs up the field. So, believe it or not, it gets worse. What, I got a run play here that gets blown up because of poor blocking? What is that, Incognito and Smith? Neither one of these two. Neither one of these two can block anybody. So you go from like the most powerful play that you can have, where your wide receiver is blowing up 5 tacklers, to now we can't even get basic blocking right. How does this happen? How can you have such inconsistent gameplay? How do you have a pulling lineman just jogging out here with the fullback, and they got nothing? They got nobody. They don't know what they're supposed to do. They just let the running back get blown up in the backfield. And not only that, he goes through both the tackles first. Because, again, you don't have a tackle animation out of Moore. He can't branch here. So when there's no animation, just like we saw with the receiver that couldn't catch, nothing happens. Let him get out of there. Thankfully, we had another linebacker there to clean everybody's mess up. Let's take a look at this 31-yard pass. Safety movement here is awful. And I believe it's going to be along the same lines of what we talked about earlier. This is Pierre Desir. He doesn't really have much of a slide, but it's a weird way for him to react to this. The ball has to be released at this point. Yep, the ball is definitely in the air. It's right there. So let's go back and just take a look from where the ball is thrown. You know that it's only going to this section of the field. Let's look at how he reacts. That's awful. That's absolutely awful. And they all pretty much react almost the same way, except Wilson. This would probably be the best angle to look at it, although with my internet, it's probably going to be hard to see. So they basically left the middle of the field wide open. Why didn't Leonard try to make an attempt on this pass? Well, I'll give it to him. He really wasn't even in position to do it, and he was coming out of his zone. So if anything, that's acceptable. And as we've talked about the whole time, if there's no tackle animation, what happens? Nothing. So when Desir comes over with no tackle animation, he basically just literally, I can't get it to freeze. He literally takes a seat. He literally takes a seat on Antonio Brown. Maybe that'll be the thumbnail. Have to get a little thumbnail action in real quick, guys. Sorry. I'm not looking at any comments. I see them adding up, but I'm not getting them. So we'll take a look at this pass. Oh, this is a beauty too. Completely spins around my linebacker for no reason. Runs out. Look at this. Look at this attempt at the block. Just like a porpoise. And not only that, somehow he's able to just leap over him while he's down on the ground like that. That might be a better where it doesn't matter. I mean, you've got a player on the ground that should matter, that he just goes over, and then the player that should matter gets shifted into an animation. I think I'm going to change the thumbnail. I like this one much better. You guys will have to give me votes. I don't know which one you like better. This one or the one from before. This one's a little cluttered. It's hard to just get it. It's hard to just get it where it's just that. Those are too cluttered. So let's just go ahead and finish out this drive live. I'm going to do the easiest thing, which is just play as the defensive end. And we'll see how the game actually does protecting this on the 2nd and 2.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Carr, Renfro bringing it in over the middle. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chain.
How does he get this wide open on a cover 2? What is this? Why does this keep happening? I mean, this is his zone. At least I was able to take control and run over. Technically, it's man coverage, but we'll see how they actually end this drive. I'm going to bring blitzes. We'll just see how they react.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before
man
the
coverage
break.
to the outside.
Again, they'll throw with Carr. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown.
All right, let's see this touchdown. At least they found the open player. And I can live with that. I'd like to see a little bit more urgency on the blitz.
A 2-yard touchdown grab. And once again, the Raiders are back out in front.
Now I get the late.
This time, the extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point line.
We'll see how easy they give me a score, and then we'll call it. But as you saw through those replays, there's just simply not enough football going on.
This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
We're just going to do pure slants.
And now Indianapolis set to
See
take
if they
the
react.
field. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Sometimes you can actually check out of that.
Yards.
And the read is so bad over there. Yep, that you can play it underneath.
Side by Hilton. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Because the defender doesn't actually play anything differently. He reads this the same horrible way. And whether T.Y. goes to the left or right does not matter. Let's see what John Gruden thinks of this. Yeah, that's pretty much what I think about it too, John. I mean, again, Madden Super Sim. Of course, I don't know what's going on with those two. All right, we're going to continue here. Just till we at least get a touchdown doing this.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion.
I will say one thing. I'm glad they
down.
stopped the clock when he went out of bounds. They had not done that always in the past.
Back to throw. Love forced out to his left. Luck showing he can be dangerous when he tucks it and runs. He's able to pick up the first down.
This is different spacing from what I had before.
Luck now to throw.
And we have to give credit to him for buying
Right
time and
into coverage,
extending the
doesn't
play.
matter.
But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in
Cornerback's
Teflon
reaction
and got
is
away.
priceless.
That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the...
Let's go back, take a look at what happens here before hopefully we get a touchdown out of this. This turning around in coverage has to cease. I don't know who programmed this. I don't know who thought this was a good idea, but you never want to turn your back to the quarterback. Doyle's just hanging out. This is what confused me is this happens. What is this? I was looking at Funchess, and then all of a sudden he stops and strafes. And then when Hilton goes by, this corner drops back in a way I didn't expect and literally just still gets the pass caught right in front of him. But Funchess stopping like that really threw me off. I don't know that I've seen a receiver do that. And why does he stop in unison with the linebacker? What is that? Don't worry, the safety's back here doing the same thing, wondering what I'm thinking. I mean, this is safety play. This is the tight end while the quarterback scrambles. And this is what the receiver does, I'm assuming, when the end of the route hits. I mean, that's absurdity. He literally just stops running. And the one player that could have made the play just literally let it happen right in front of him. And then I believe he's the one that gets the animation out of bounds where he's like, he's like all upset. And then he runs into a cameraman. And this cameraman here is taking a picture of the other cameraman. You know, just because, it's like his parents want proof that he was at the game or something. Like his wife wants proof that he's there actually working today. Take a picture of me here while I'm working, so everybody knows I'm working here. What that guy was doing.
Luck going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game. Here's Luck, eluding the pressure right.
Easy. They literally played it the same way all the way down the field. The whole way down the field, they played it the same exact way. This is just what I showed you guys yesterday. You roll out, you read this linebacker, corner, whoever it is. As soon as he jumps inside, you've got no help from behind because the safety isn't moving, and all you have to do is wait for him to clear. Once he clears, it's no big deal. Now, the confusing part about the last play is one of these guys, there was a corner down here that peeled back, and he's not there to peel back this time. Instead, they just turn back around and let up an easy touchdown. This pretty much sums up Madden from an offensive and defensive perspective. I mean, Charles Rogers is like, what do you expect me to do? Nobody's covering me. And the corner's like, what do you expect me to do? I'm got the safety standing still. So with 22 seconds to go, I don't think they're going to be able to do much. We'll kick the point after here, and we'll take a 14-13 lead to the half, and then we'll end it. But I appreciate all of you that came out, and hopefully you guys will stick around in about another, 15, 20 minutes. Random close-up of lineman with their car. I'm going to have another video comes up, kind of just talks about the fall of Madden and, where this series is went. And although I thought the best prelude to that was the Madden 99 versus Madden 20 clip, I don't know if it isn't this horrid gameplay, to be quite honest with you. I would hope they would just take a knee, but it doesn't look like they're going to. We'll run our guys back and see what they like to do.
As they've got it 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward.
Now, if they were going to run it, why wouldn't they use their timeouts?
Here's 2nd and
Doesn't make any
7
sense.
now
There's
from
no
the
logic.
28. So a very tight first
You either
half.
run
We
it
had to break
or
in
you
a
end it.
one-point game as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman
Now we're going to go to the
EA
worst
Sports
halftime show ever.
Of the EA Sports
Supporting my channel means a lot to me.
This one has the look of a game that could very well go
I know
down
these are rather
to the
impromptu
wire.
streams, so to get
There's
anybody in
1
here
point
means a lot,
separating these
but
two clubs
I feel like if
at the
nothing
break.
else, we recorded
But they're
all
ready
that
for the second
mess
half,
that
and
led up
we
to this,
are
and you
too.
guys got to see
As we'll
some
get
live
right
play
back
and what I'm
out
looking
to
at.
Brandon and
So,
Charles.
All right, Coach,
there really is no way around it.
As
As Andrew Luck does power squats, this game needs to be a lot better, and there has to be a lot of improvements. And until it does, I think every one of us needs to go out and talk about the problems we have and let everybody know that these aren't just the problems that are individual to us. Everyone has these problems, everyone has these issues, and we all need a better
just
product.
about the 25, call it the 24.
So with that said, I'll give you guys like a minute or two for questions. Madden 20 is the best scene to date. I appreciate that you guys like these videos. I will say, yes, they are rather small improvements to this game. You can just tell in this portion of play, I don't think X Factors or superstar players had any change to them. Yes, guys, I will continue the live streams, just not at this clip, I promise. I have another video that was set to go up tonight, so it's going to go up. I can't stop it. Just so you guys know, tomorrow I should have some exclusive. Let me check my email right now. I might have it. You might get an actual live update. I do not have it. But I'm expecting to have some exclusive screenshots and things from Maximum Football, so be on the lookout for that tomorrow. That's why the Madden video has to go up tonight, because I don't want to clog things up. I don't want to have this, Madden video followed by Maximum Football where it's going to look like, look at the hard reviews of Madden and then look at Maximum Football. So trying to keep those out of it. Anybody who wants to donate, my Patreon is there. Maximum Football, like we talked about. We'll talk about the release date tomorrow. We'll talk about everything. Don't you worry about it. I don't know that EA pays for positive reviews, but they're certainly not looking forward to streams like this that show how bad the game is. The trailer for Maximum Football, man, for real, the trailer is not their priority. I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. The game is their priority. So when that can be there is when that can be there, so to speak. I don't really know what they're going to do. I think their focus is the gameplay. There's enough hype built about it, so I don't know that a trailer is going to change much. Steve-O Joyce, I went to EA for a week with Madden 25, and I have the same complaints then as I do now. I would not say a long shot is rehashed. They added a lot of things, but it's definitely not an enjoyable play mode. I'm trying to get caught up on comments. I've ran the same play over and over. McArwolf, read and react defense is just not there. All right, guys. Well, listen, like I said, I don't want to make this too long. I appreciate all of you guys coming out to support me. The second live stream, I guess the recap of this should be up relatively shortly for anybody that missed the beginning of it. I think that was probably 10 to 12 breakdowns in a row, and every play had a massive issue. So with that said, I appreciate you guys. Another video is coming out, and I will be back in the week with more commentary.